Well, Auburn fans, you wanted the transfer portal to get going in spring, and you got it. Our third transfer in less than a week is here to talk about. Let's discuss who that is and what it means for Hugh Freeze and the Auburn Tigers. War Eagle, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Kyle here at E2C Network, where we share the whole Auburn experience. As you're watching or listening today, be sure to drop a comment about this particular topic we're discussing in this video, because it'll help enter you into our ongoing subscriber giveaway for a signed Auburn football prize package. Details are listed in the description link. And lastly, we do want to thank members of our booster club like John Stokes, who help produce videos like this. 1, 2, 3. 3 in less than a week for Auburn football. It's an incredible time right now. Our patience is being rewarded. We've already broken down the first of those 3, Peyton Thorne and Jalen McLeod, those first 2 that came in. Check those videos out if you have not done so. But for now, let's talk about your brand new transfer wide receiver from Ohio State, Caleb Burton, coming to be part of the Auburn 2023 transfers and recruiting cycle. He's the 15th overall transfer, and he's coming in with 4 years of eligibility remaining to be utilized here at Auburn. As always, let's start by talking about the timeline events that brought us to this commitment today, and we're going to look way back into the spring of 2020. For the history of Auburn, at least, it starts then. That's when Auburn actually offered this guy, as well as many other prominent programs. A lot of people wanted him, but Ohio State obviously secured that commitment, eventually signed him in early signing period. He did come to campus early as well, got onto campus, had a few injury bugs there, so he ended up redshirting during his time at Ohio State that 1 year that he was there, and becomes now a classified redshirt freshman. Entered the transfer portal on April 25th of this year, and as we now know, has decided to throw his hat in the ring with the Auburn Tigers. So now let's talk about this prospect, the things that you need to know about the athlete coming to be part of the Auburn football team. He comes from Austin, Texas originally, and played for Lake Travis High School at that time. In high school, was considered a 4-star wide receiver, and probably has maintained that. We can't really make judgments on that since he sat out pretty much the entire year at Ohio State. He's listed at about 6'1", 170 pounds. So in my estimation, that would be about average size for a wide receiver. A lot of people have talked about him being a slot receiver, but he's got some versatility and can be used pretty much anywhere. Now let's talk about some stats, because that'll help paint the picture for what he's bringing to the table here at Auburn. As we talked about, did not play his first year at Ohio State, so unfortunately we really don't have anything for the previous year to talk about. But let's look back at his high school time. What I can tell you is this: throughout his high school years, all the way back to his freshman time, he was making all district teams all the way through those high school years. Second team, first team, it doesn't matter. Making those teams regardless is impressive. But here are some stats from his senior year for you just to consider. Played in 12 total games, 49 receptions for a total of 848 yards. So that average per game was about 70.4, and it also included 15 total touchdowns. Quite impressive, and let's see if he can replicate those numbers here at Auburn. Let's talk about some storylines around this prospect, and a few of those things that we would think about with transfers is what spot are they filling? Whose spot are they taking that a left? And for this particular individual, probably would be a equal comparison to Varis Dawson. I know they're not equal comparisons, but effectively, and maybe style, build, things like that, pretty much filling each other's spots on respective teams, even though Varis Dawson has gone away. Another cool thing is this happened right after, the day after, our new quarterback commit, Peyton Thorne. So you got to think that his commitment may have been sped up because of what he saw happen the day previously. Now that we know a little bit about the player, let's talk about what it means for Auburn football. We always start off by talking about numbers, specifically what it means for the class. Overall, this is the 36th commitment, including transfers and traditional recruits, and the 16th overall offensive recruit, and the 3rd wide receiver commit to come in during this time. Now let's ask the question, what is his playing opportunities going to look like when he arrives at campus? And while the room's not completely full right now, especially with some departures, there's still some people that you've got to beat out. But first, let's talk about who's left. Most recently, and there's been others, but we're talking about Landon King and, as I've already mentioned, Varis Dawson, who effectively he's filling the role up. When you look at maybe the core wide receivers that are here right now, you got Camden Brown, you've got Javarius Johnson, Coy Moore, and then you've got names like Nick Martin and Jaquavius Sorey, who have come in for this year as well in this class. Those are the names that he's going to be competing against. So he doesn't have a lot of experience at the college level. I'm not ruling him out from playing time, but he's still got to beat out some of those people before he has the opportunity. Now let's talk about regional discussions as it pertains to recruiting. Where is he from? The state of Texas, which is a talent-rich state. We all know that. And so you want to have as many people from there as you can to continue to build relationships back to that. He's the third from Texas in this class alone. CJ Johnson and also Dylan Wade are from Texas too. And lastly, what does this commitment mean for the class overall, but more specifically for this particular position in the class? Wide receiver, as we said, there's still room available, especially when you consider that Landon King's spot most recently is still open. So you gotta think with a few big fish out there, so to speak, or big targets, I should say, you're probably gonna have at least one more, but maybe more still coming to be part of a very interesting team that's shaping up for 2023. So that's my thoughts on your brand new wide receiver transfer commit, Caleb Burton. We'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments section below. Be sure to do that so you can be part of that subscriber giveaway. And hey, you gotta be subscribed for that, so make sure you take care of that too. As always, check out the links in the description for ways you can help support us here at E2C Network, where we share the whole Auburn experience. War Eagle.